My name is Hope Ostane-Baucom. I'm studying Agribusiness Technology at Mitchell Community College. My background is not in agriculture. I actually worked in communications and performing arts for over 20 years and then made a shift to study agriculture because I wanted to become either a farmer or a farmer's market manager, or someone who helps to create spaces for farmers to have access to marketplaces and eradicate food insecurity in my local area. During COVID, I was recovering from actually having surgery for breast cancer. I was diagnosed with bilateral breast cancer in 2019, and throughout the entire span of like everyone being on lockdown for COVID, I was in a bubble because of cancer. So I was completely shut off from the world, even more so than the rest of you guys. And in that isolation, I started doing a backyard gardening with my mother-in-law. And that backyard garden was able to provide like an abundance of food, like baskets and baskets of food from a small space, no bigger than the average like front porch. And I decided in that moment, looking at all the food insecurities that everyone was going through, especially during the pandemic when food insecurity was at its peak, I decided that if it was something that I already had the innate ability to do, what if I put some actual science behind a God-given gift? And so I actually Googled agriculture schools near me and found that Mitchell Community College had an agriculture program. And so I, after my third surgery, decided to take my first class. It was an online course. I was recovering from surgery at the time. And when I saw success in the course and the ease of processing the information, I decided to go all in, and I have not looked back since. I'm so grateful. I cannot say thank you enough to the guidance that was given to me by professors like Amy Poyer to show me how I could use the skills that were already in me and then amplify them with coursework like soil science and plant science. I'm now a BASF, I'm actually BASF plant science certified. I've obtained my North Carolina pesticide applicator's license, not so I can spray a bunch of chemicals, but so that I can learn integrative pest management and ways to use nature to combat the pests. I don't like that P word, but to combat pests that might try to infiltrate your garden or your crops. And those are things that I'd had a basic knowledge of, and I would say that I am approaching intermediate and expert level after taking those courses. So I am a community college student, but I'm a North Carolina State University employee. That right there, just that notion alone is like really exciting. The program is called FIRE, which is Food Inspired Resilience and Equity. And I am an intern with the Charlotte Mecklenburg Food Policy Council, working to help create spaces for farmers to have access to marketplaces and to create spaces for people to have access to have a fair, equitable access to healthy farm fresh food. And from the day that I decided that I wanted to study agriculture, that has always been my goal, to make sure that farm fresh food, not over processed food, but that food fresh from a farm within 100 miles of your residence would be accessible to all people. And this is something that I'm actually working on. I'm so excited. Every day is an amazing challenge. I get to learn more about food policy and how it impacts our local community, how we are able to extend programs like double SNAP bucks where people can use their EBT benefits and then double those benefits and sometimes triple them to buy regenerative and organic and grass-fed food directly from a farmer. The only step in between the farmer and the consumer may even only be a processor. But that to me is amazing work. And it's also about giving this sense of self-worth to people who once at one point believed that farmers market food or farm fresh food was inaccessible to them, or they didn't deserve it, or were not worthy of it. And these programs create like that self-worth that lets them know that they deserve and have rights to access to the best food that North Carolina has to offer. And I couldn't be happier. Like the internship ends right before I graduate, and I think that's just the perfect way to like put the kiss on this educational opportunity that I've had here at Mitchell. There are a few things that I want to explore in my next steps. One, I would like to grow plants and food myself. I do own a small parcel of land with my husband that I'd like to cultivate the soil and see what can be grown there, what gifts from the earth I can share with the people. But in addition to that, or to take that a step further, to create a marketplace for other small farmers to have access to those same type of programs that exist in Mecklenburg County, but here in Iredell County. So to create food equity here in Iredell County, to create food equity spaces, to honor food hubs that are already in existence, and then amplify their work to have to spread that access to more people. So those are like my immediate goals, is to kind of get in and do the same work that I'm learning to do in Mecklenburg County, but to expand that work to the people here where I live in Iredell County. Go in full force. Take as many in-person classes as possible, because it is something about learning about plants and animals in person that just cannot be replicated in the online platform. I know that a lot of coursework is shifting to online and has done so after the pandemic, but it is just something about putting your hands in that soil, grabbing that seed, putting it in the soil, and then gradually over time watching it grow into something that can be consumed, that can feed pollinators. Is just something so magical about that experience. But if you're going to do it, go all in. Don't sleep on yourself. Put your whole heart into it, because the principles that farmers abide by, the principles that exist in agriculture, are hard work, being self-driven, and a focus on creating new things from nature. You can't do that halfway. You have to be fully committed. And so my advice is, if you're going to do it, baby. For more information about Mitchell Community College's Agribusiness Technology program, please visit mitchellcc.edu.